We are a little early today. I'm just putting that there, getting myself situated because it does take me a little longer than normal to get myself set up these days. Not like I could just hop on my feet and move things around. So I'm just getting on here a little early just to get situated. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Let me open up my chat so I can see all that when we get in here. I have a queue open too, which is like throwing me off a little bit, but it's all good. Just posting it to the group while we get all set up. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. All right. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's posted. That's all good. Hi, Jen. Thank you for hopping on a few minutes early, but we will get started in a few seconds. I guess. Let me figure out how to put my foot up underneath this table. Ooh, that's not gonna work. I think my foot's just gonna be on my chair for now. Alrighty, so I have the chats on my computer and I have my recording higher up. Let me just move this up a little so I have a little bit more wiggle room underneath the camera. Like so. Alrighty. So as you can tell, I did use one of these stickers already from earlier this week, but we will make do. We always want to use up all of our stickers, so since I started using this, we're going to use this. I am going to start a new. I've been putting this off. I did not want to open this. This is just too pretty. I love this paper. I didn't want to open this, but I am going to today because I need to start tracking my recovery and all those things that I am doing now that I can be a little bit more mobile with my life. I'm just going to take a little scissors here, give it a little cut, and I'll just cut the whole thing. So we are cracking open a whole new book. I used to be really into the like hardcover bounded books, but what I've noticed is that if it's a hardcover book, I don't really want to use it because I don't want to be like, what if I mess it up and then I have to rip pages out or something? And if I rip pages out of it, then the whole book gets like, that messes up the integrity of the whole book. So what I started doing is getting into like spiral bound ones for dot grids or like just grids and lined paper in general. I do have like a speck of glitter right here. I don't know if anybody can see it. Oh no, it's gone. I just got that off. But anyways, I do notice that like if I don't have a if it's not bound like all my other books and stuff, I don't feel as guilty when I have to like move a page around, take a page out and reposition it somewhere else. I could just rip it out and put it where it needs to be. So for this one, it's where did that paper just go? These are really good. These notebooks from Taja or yeah, I think it's Taja. I got this one off of Amazon, but they're like less than $6 when they're on sale. I believe it's like 5.80 or something for a dotted notebook, and that's pretty good. I like how they, it's a spiral, so you can or a 2-to-1 pitch more so. So you can open it flat. My issue a lot with like bounded books is that you can't lay it flat and you're over here clipping things down, and it just doesn't motivate me as much to want to get into it. So here we are. I think I'm slowly figuring out what I like and what I don't like, even though I already knew from way before I knew what I liked. But that's a whole nother situation of me discovering things. So I like that this one has a front page or like a first page, whatnot, name from email, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use that. A lot of times, what I do is in bounded books, I skip the first page. I don't know if it's just me from like school, like grade school or whatnot, that we skip the first page. I don't even know why we did that, but all through school, we've always skipped like the first page, and I think that's just a habit. But since that page is already skipped, I can just go straight into this one. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this first page as my tracker for my for my little recovery situation that I have going on here. Um, I do have to take daily vitamins or supplements. Not so much medication. I try really hard not to like take painkillers and things like that. It's just my preference. I'm more of a holistic person, which is like, some people think that's weird. I'd rather eat and consume the things that I need to get better rather than me taking some kind of pills and stuff to, um, you know, make myself feel better. It's just me personally because I do have a lot of like side effects when I do take things. I think it's just me, how I am, maybe something in my blood or something in my body or something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up as a tracker, but first I want to add some color to this page. And I am just going to take a piece of scratch paper. I do have this like piece of paper right here that's like faulty sticker paper, and I'm going to stick it behind here, so if I go over the edge, I'm not going to panic too much. But I want to have this nice and clean so I can just color over it. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to make some squiggles. Um, I know a lot of people would rather use the like squiggle stickers or like the paint brushes and everything like that, but if you have like a whole bunch of color pens or like crayons and stuff, why not use that? You know what? I'm looking at crayons right now. How about we use some crayons? We're gonna make this a little colorful. Um, I don't even know where all these crayons came from, but they're piled up, and I have like boxes of Crayola and boxes of what's that other one? What's that other brand? But then I also have like these Walmart ones, Pen and Gear ones. So let's just use Pen and Gear ones. I think I use this as a what is that? I use this as an example from when I used to make name tags or name labels and people can see the sizes of them. But like these are just been sitting, so I'm going to just add some color. Hi, Dawn. Thanks for joining in. So I normally relate to like blues and greens when it comes to medical stuff. I know people relate to maybe reds and things like that, but for me, I prefer to have more blues and greens. Yeah, this box of colors has been sitting under my desk for who knows how long. So let me just like pull out some nice fun colors. Why am I playing with crayons? Because I can, and because I have them, and it's okay. You can definitely use whatever medium you want to use. I have no clue how these Pen and Gear colors, well, these crayons work. I don't know if they're going to come out more waxy or whatnot, but we will figure it out. I just love to have all these other colors lying around and just available for my disposal. So I'm just trying to like see what colors I could use. I'm probably going to use these. Let's use these. Oh, that looks kind of dark, doesn't it? Is this a black? This is gray, but it looks like really dark for gray. Is this the black? Yeah, that's got to be the black. I'm gonna go something a little lighter. Would it be me to bring more pink into this because I always have to bring pink into things? Um, let's do. Yeah, I want a lighter color, and that's like pretty much the only other color that's there that's white. I don't want to do like a yellow or whatnot. That might stress me out just a little bit when it comes to doing all these trackers and stuff. And I do not want to be stressed. I want to be happy to look at the page and motivated because It's very important to be taking, you know, your vitamins or whatever supplements you need to be taking, or your medicines and your meds. And it's all very important. You should always stay on top of that. And in any case, if any of the meds or anything or your supplements just don't seem to be working with you, I'm not a doctor. I am not like trying to advise anybody, but like seek medical attention or seek medical help if something doesn't seem right. Lucky for me, this whole, what do you call it? This whole situation with me. Do I have a second page in here? Oh, I do. Oh, it's okay. With me and this injury that I've given to myself and things like that. I haven't had as much pain as I was thinking I would. It's more of like the swelling that became a problem. And I'm actually really thankful that it's nothing to, I mean, it is a serious injury. It did require um quite a bit of screws and some plates, and now I can just like, you know, when I go traveling and everything, have like question myself about the whole body scanner stuff and everything. That reminds me, I have to ask my doctor what kind of metal he put in me, because I know it varies by situation, and since he is a sports doctor, I am so lucky that this doctor had was able to pick me up. My The first initial doctor that I was supposed to see for this injury was a um he was an orthopedic surgeon, but his specialty was more of like hip replacements and like ball joint replacements and things like that. And they had a wait list. And lucky me, while my doctors were trying to get a hold of a surgeon, this doctor, like, their team answered the phone and was like, "Oh yeah, we can see her sooner." So yay, I got seen sooner, and now I'm with a sports orthopedic surgeon, and he was just so amazing. And that's the type of surgeon that I think I'd prefer to be with, um, for my personal care, because I do have such an active and busy lifestyle. So that's like one thing that was really important to me. I was really lucky that that happened. So I'm just doing this. Like, you change up the colors any way you want. It doesn't have to be with crayons. You can use markers. You can use inks. You can use. I have alcohol ink somewhere, but I just don't want to make that much of a mess. Like, crayons are easy. You just spread them on there, and there we go. So we have that. I just want to add just a little bit of a color pop here, and what I'm going to be using is my Pixel Habit Tracker. Hi, Jess. And we are starting in the middle of the month, but what I am going to do is I'm going to cut this up. And basically, I have an appointment next in August for my follow up. I just finished my follow up the other day, and so this is when like all the important stuff starts happening. So today is the 19th, and actually yesterday is when I started the supplements. So it was just advised that like I do some extra some extra calcium, but then again, as a aging woman, I should be already taking calcium and things. So I was just like, I'm just gonna add this to my list of things to do. And here we are, me adding it to the list of things to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm cutting off, we do have 31 days in July, so I'm going to just cut it there. I'm cutting this to my doctor's appointment. So I'm basically like working around to my doctor's appointment. I'm going to cut this part out because I don't really need this part. But I am going to have July here, and then I'm going to continue on to August. Like so. Just give it a little bit of space so I can add in the oh my goodness, my language. Add in the little August. I'm gonna write in August right there. But see, just a little bit of color really helps like break everything up. And I'm gonna put in my trackers here, which is going to be at AM. Make sure I take my AM supplements, which is like a calcium and vitamin K situation. And I think I am going to use my Le Pen. in a Oriental blue. Lip pen in Oriental blue. I do love these pens. They are fine liners. And this is the Japanese one. They do have different ones from different. Ooh, wow, that was kind of rough. But they do have different ones from different parts of the world. But I do like the Japan ones. So we're gonna just put it in here. I'm gonna turn it a little sideways because I do write sideways, and we are going to write, or should I put a box in here? Let me see if I have a box. It'd be really cute to have a box in here. I'm gonna get all deco on everybody. I do have some fun boxes. Here we go. I have a love rainbow right next to me. Really quick, I am going to put in a little box on the top. Right there. And then I'm going to put another box over here. And this is going to be for the dates. And then when we get to the bottom, I'm going to put all the information down there. Let's use, we'll use this one. And then I'll just cut her up. And where's my scissors? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a scissors to the middle of this. I'm going to place this bad boy down. And I'm going to close it up just to make it a little shorter. Right on top of it. So we still have almost the same size box, just a little shorter, and you can't really tell. So there we go. Oh, I totally forgot. I got so carried away with playing around with all of this. I forgot. Does everybody have your like hydration for the day? I'm just doing iced water. I did some electrolytes earlier. I've been really into like the electrolyte waters, like what is that called? Liquid IV and all of those. So I did one earlier, so now I'm just doing regular water because those are still chemicals. I'm not doing like completely holistic or anything with all of you, but I just it's just my preference. What's in your cup? Tell me what's in your cup. I want to know. I'm gonna write some July right here, July 25, and then August 25, and this is going to just get me until the next doctor's appointment, and I'm going to like list more of the things like my symptoms and other things that I need to track and take care of, all over here, which is going to be great. Let me see if I get a, yep, I have a checkbox right here. This is my B grades. As you can see, oh, that sounds so good. I love ginger ale. I love Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple's is my life. That is right down my alley, right there. So this is a B grade set that I did. I totally missed putting in the outlines for this before I printed it for some reason. It just disappeared, and so now I have these. So I'm going to use them as my trackers, because it's good to just use whatever you can whenever you can and not waste. So for this one, the first line is going to be, I'm just going to put this right here since we're already past that. This one right here is going to be my vitamins in the AM. And then the next one, I'm going to change the color for PM. And since we're kind of doing this like bluish greenish color, let me go find another green. I have oh, maybe I'll use another blue. I have a light blue. I have so many of these light pens. This is crazy. Like, I have more blue. Let's just do a whole thing of blues and greens. So that's vitamins AM, vitamins PM. Ooh, and this lip pen is the brush one. I just did not even realize that until I just started writing. Now that's awesome. Here we go. Clicking that in. Vitamins AM, vitamins PM. I'm going to give a little bit of a space right there. And we're going to go on to teal with the lip pen. And it's kind of like down to the bottom right here. But I am going to skip this box right here because I don't need all of them to track. And then this one is going to be my exercises. So I was just using teal. We're going to use the, I don't know what FL stands for. Does it stand for Florida? Florida blue, who knows? Or like a fluorescent light blue, maybe. So this says exercise. I can put weight on my foot now. So I'm basically like going to track if I did, like, I have to put my foot in my boot. I have to put my foot in a boot. Right now it's just wrapped in an ace bandage, but I do have to put my foot in a boot and I do have to put a little bit of weight on it, like walk around a little bit. So I decided to give myself like 20-minute increments at a time, put my foot in the boot, and then just go and walk my happy booty all over the place. So there's the exercise. And then so I'll do the third one as like an AM. And then for the last one, it's going to be PM. So my limit right now before I start like getting all swollen and swelled up and everything is about like 15 minutes. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little tracker in there to indicate when I was like, if there was any improvements. I'm going to write the date over here and then the time. And then that'll be the time until the next date goes in and the time, if that makes any sense. So we're going to put this here. And this doesn't have to be like, if anybody is doing like any kind of health tracker or anything that's like important like this, say you have like a doctor's appointment coming up and you have to do like meal tracking and things like that, this is one way to do it. You don't have to do it in like a doc grid like how I am doing, but you can always do it in like a vertical, even a horizontal, or just even a regular notebook, and just have everything like gridded out. That's like the best and easiest way to do things. I am going in with a Sharpie pen right here. I do love these Sharpie pens, but ever since I discovered that they have a clicky pen, I've been in love with it. And guess what? That clicky pen I was able to get a hold of in a bulk amount. So if you've ordered or more so pre-ordered the Halloween box, that pen, that Sharpie permanent pen that I am in love with in a clicky, will be yours as well. Haha. Isn't that so exciting? So anyways, Sharpie pen, permanent pen. I'm gonna put it right on the top. Maybe I should put a little bit of white out just to block this out right here. Make it easier to see because I know these hearts are very, very bright and vibrant. So I'm just going to put, there we go, a little bit of whiteout right at the top so you can see it. It actually looks so much better on camera than it does over here. Maybe it's just the lighting. But anyways, so we have July, August. Here we're going to have the activity, progress. And since yesterday was the 18th, so 7/18, I'm just going to write 15 minutes in here. If I go any longer than 15, 20 minutes, I start to swell up so much. So we're just going to keep it at that. And then later on, from now until the 13th, when I have the ability to put more weight and be on my foot a little bit longer, I'll go ahead and track that and my progress and which day I was okay to add more weight to it. As of right now, from now until for another month, I should still be having like swelling and things like that. So I need to give myself grace and go easy on myself with that. I as much as I want to like jump up and just go running, unfortunately this is really teaching me some patience right here. I've never been in a situation where I've been immobile for so long, and this is really teaching me patience. This is teaching me how to eat properly. Um, I've been having some really weird reoccurring dreams. Uh, some of you may have heard about it, but I've been having these reoccurring dreams ever since I got into this situation, this foot situation that I'm in, of me being on the Dr. Now show. And I know I shouldn't laugh about it, but I think it's me like mentally being in denial about it or something because like I'm literally like oh my gosh, I need to like exercise, I need to eat right. I do not want to end up on like my 600-pound life, or like I think I've just been watching way too much of Tammy and Amy's 1,000-pound sisters, to be honest with you. That's been playing in the background for some reason, and I think that's what's scaring me a little bit. Next up over here, I was lucky. I do have a friend that lives nearby, not in my town, but that lives in the next town over. Or should I just say I have a friend that's in Vegas? He is a sports muscle therapist, and he has offered to take me on as his patient, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a very fun journey to go through this process with him of me rebuilding my strength and coming back even stronger. Luckily for me, I have worked with him in the past when I was a dance instructor. So for him to be like, hey, like just come on down and we'll check you out and see what we can do, it made me really excited. So what I'm going to put right here is muscle therapy. Lucky me, I did not need um, my surgeon said that because I wasn't out for that long, normally recovery just to stay off your foot is at least 6 weeks. But for me, I kind of fast tracked it because I followed what he said. And because he is a sports doctor, he did do some modifications to my surgery so that I could be up and moving around a whole lot faster. So he said that I do not need PT unless I want it. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to muscle therapy because I do need to strengthen my muscles more so than relearning how to walk, should I say. I do know PT is good for other reasons and whatnot, but for me, I do know that the whole reason behind me having this injury in the first place is because um, I have flexibility issues. I am hypermobile, so I do need to strengthen my muscles and my joints and all of that stuff. And I believe that if I stick with my muscle therapist, my sports muscle therapist, I'll be able to get myself stronger than practicing proper ways to walk, which is basically what the physical therapist said that we would start doing is to practice proper ways to walk. And I already did those types of things in dance, like how to properly not like don't walk flat footed and things like that. So I believe this is going to be a better solution for my situation, which I'm so excited about. This is so great. Um, Next, I did want to track a few other things. The next one is going to be, I'm going to use a small one for that, right? Will it fit? Hmm. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna use the smaller one in this bottom corner right here. And I did want to note or keep track of, like, say for instance, I get way too sore and I do need to take something for the pain, that I want to have a space for it here as like pain management to track when I did and what's the progress with that. Well, what happened or what's the reason for it. So that's going to be pain management. And then instead of using the checkbox again as a checkbox, I'm going to use it to write the date, like how I have up here. Write the date there and the information. I will write the date here if I decide to use some kind of pain relief, and what I used, how often, when, and all that, whatnot. Um, I feel like I'm missing something else that I need to keep track of, and I can't remember it at all. So these are going to be the dates for my therapy once we're waiting for my incision to heal all the way, and then I'll start having my appointments. It looks like I am going to go next week towards the end of the week, so we'll keep track of that when that happens. Pain management, and there's one more thing I was supposed to track, and I can't remember it now. This is why it's so important. Oh, thanks, Jen. Thanks for distracting me, Jen. I really appreciate it. I think. there's something else that I'm supposed to put with all of this that I had to track, and now I cannot remember what it is. I have my vitamins and my exercise, my activity, muscle therapy. Oh, symptom tracker. What the heck is this extra plastic hanging from the top of my pen? Okay, so symptom tracker. We're going to add in symptom tracker here. So say like I have a really swollen day and it's just a little much. I am going to not use this box actually. We're going to change this up a little bit. I'm not going to use this box just in case I need to go over the amount that it is. I am just putting this down right. The comment section is a little quiet here. Is it? Am I in the wrong thing? Wait, hold on. Oh my goodness! I was in. For some reason, my phone like reset to like the top chats instead of the live chats. Like one or two comments this whole time. I do apologize. Receptionisty, like it's kind of funky, so it's a little pixelated, but fun stuff. We get our fiber optic installed on Monday, so come next week, I should be able to like live stream in 4K and we won't be having any of the issues. So there's that. I am going to put in a little small little box right here on the side. And I think what I'm going to do too is I'm going to draw a box with this. But I do want to write right on the top symptom tracker. And I'm going to take I'm going to use a straight edge, then use a ruler because this is such a small piece of, like, such a small book that the ruler hangs over the edge. And I'm go like this. I swear, I feel like every single time I'm trying to do a live, I cannot find my rulers or any straight edges to use. So I'm just going to fold this paper in half. You don't have to go out and go get a fancy ruler and things like that. Use what you have. I have a straight edge right here. Here we go. I have a straight edge and I have a mild liner. I'm going to make a little box for. I think that would be perfect. Right on my Sharpie, with my Sharpie pen on top of the. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be good. On top of the, directly onto the crayons on top of the piece of paper. So I think that's great. We're going to go from here to there. I see where we're supposed to stop. So we're going to go there, straight down. And here's my little box. And what I find is that when it's fun and like bright and not so sterile, it actually helps me want to like check my box off. Just like so. Like this little piece of plastic that was on the other pen is now following me onto this pen for some reason. Oop. Would be me to just mark up my hands and everything. Here we go. Adorable. So we have my symptom tracker here. I will also put in a little bullets, little dots, just to indicate when things happen. I'll just leave it at 3 for now, and then I'll fill it out as I go along. I have my health stickers, my medical sampler kit right here. So cute. I also want to use that for here. Let's see what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to use our little medication pill bottle, and we're going to put it right next to the pain management, because if I take any, then that would be the pain management right there. I did want to use it for the vitamins, but at the same time, I don't think having that like prescription bottle matches with the vitamins. So instead, let's use a blue pill. Since everything is blue going on here, we're going to use the blue pill. I'm just going to stick it straight over here. Like so. I covered the exercise. That's fine. That's all good in the hood. We're going to take the little wrap. I want to put it next to muscle therapy. I also want to. Why am I taking it from all over the place? That is just crazy. I am going to take a box. put it down here. Put this little puppy right there to remind me that I have x-rays and follow-up at 11 on the 13th. Like that. Hi! Thanks for joining in, Lindsay. Okay, so we have that already set. That is so great. I think I'm good when it comes to this. I do need to mark off that I did take my vitamins. I already took my vitamins for this evening as well. So let's color coordinate this. What color should I use for my morning? Let's do morning in orange because morning, sunrise, orange. And then let's just stick with the blue for the afternoon. So for these, the pixels, the pixel tracker, yesterday I did take my vitamins for the morning, and today I took my vitamins for the morning. I also did, here we go. Oh, thanks, Jen, for jumping in there. I am not seeing the comments coming in that fast for some reason. It keeps sending it back to top fans. I mean, most of you are in the top fans for today's live, but it is like jumping in. It just keeps showing like top fans and everybody saying hi to each other earlier. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. But anyways, I did take my vitamins for yesterday, and then today I already did. So those are the colors I'm gonna use for that. Yesterday we did do a little grocery run and stuff. So I did exercise. Yesterday I did not do a PM because my foot swelled up way too much for me to do anything. So what I'm gonna use for that, let's use a whoop, dropping pens over here. Let's use a mild liner in a yellow for that exercise yesterday. Ooh, that is a little bright, but that's okay. That is fine. And then what I'm planning on doing is putting my foot in the boot this evening. As soon as we finish the live, foot's getting in the boot. So I'm just going to put that in there right there so I can walk around the house a little, do some house chores. And then I'll get back into my room. That is pretty bright. Let me see if I have another not so bright color. Should we just do purple instead? I love this purple Tombow. Does anybody have like a choice between Aw, thanks. Thanks for reminding me to add the hubby into this one. I love it. Does anybody have a preference between mild liners and Tombows? Because I really love this. I really love Tombows for some reason. And I'm just gonna put it over with ooh, not a fan of that. It's kind of looking like some Beetlejuice going on in there, but that's okay. Tracking my exercise habits. We're just going to keep that on the side. This book is going to be open and on my table, so when I come in here, I can like log everything that I need to log. So there's that. That's perfect. And we have finished that one and everything that I need for this one. Okay, so next what we're going to do is have a little chit chat. Closing it, we're leaving it open. And I'm going to be in my face so I don't forget it's there. Alrighty. So next, I am pulling down my prompts for July. I did get everything done for some reason. I was behind, and then I started doing it, and then I got ahead. Well, I ended up stopping because I didn't want to go ahead. I wanted to have a prompt for every day. So Let me see where I'm going with this. Let me see. Let me see. Jump off of the live and I'm going to go into the VIP page to find the prompts. And I'm going to write in some of the prompts. How's everybody doing with their prompts? Have you been working on your prompts and stuff? I haven't seen any posts in the VIP page yet, prompts. So yeah, I just wondering if anybody was doing the prompts for July or if they finished it. If you did, please post it in the VIP group. I would love to see your prompts for the month. I know mine's is very standard, but I did like break my foot here, over here. And then like, the whole situation and having surgery on the first, and I would just say, oh, we'll just keep it more wordy than decorative, and that's fine. If you did a lot of decorative, I'd love to see it. I want to see it. Just drop all of your like charm and dream stuff the onto the VIP page because we love that. Alrighty, so well, here we are. Oh. Hi, what's going on? We're here. Okay, we're here. We're here. That was weird. So tomorrow Sunday is a pen you haven't used in a while. And I already have that pen that I haven't used in a while right next to me. Which I do love this pen, but I don't know. I've just been like avoiding it for some reason. It is the V5 Precise Pilot pen. Let me grab out a color that's more usable. So these are like fine liners, but they're pens. It says Rolling Bow on there, but they really look like a fine liner. But these pens are so amazing. So I'm just going to write in Sunday's one because we are already here. Pen I haven't used in a while, and it's going to be a Pilot. Precise. Ooh. She don't know how to spell today. That's okay. Just gonna put hearts all over the place so to like make up for my oopsie there. So there we go. We got a little one for that. And next what I'm going to do is move us on over to my weekly for the upcoming week. Now, my mood has been really funky, and I think it's because I don't get me wrong, I am frustrated about my lack of moving around. Lately, I do want to move around, I do want to walk around and whatnot, and I do know that I need to be easy on myself and have patience because I do need to heal. That's more important. But at the same time, it is pretty frustrating to be, in my situation. But I shouldn't be complaining. I really shouldn't because it could have been a whole lot worse. And I'm really thankful that it wasn't a whole lot worse. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a rainy day teddy here. This should make my week a little nicer. I love the rain. For some reason, there was a lot of flooding in Vegas, but it never in my little town, even though we're pretty near to Vegas, a decent location from them. We didn't get any of that big rain or anything. So I was a little disappointed. I was looking forward to not having to water anything. I do have to send hubby out to go water some of my trees because my trees do look pretty sad out there. It is the summertime, so we're gonna have to give them a good little drink before they dry up. I am using my boxes here. This paper. So I haven't been paying. I've seen some of them posted. But anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm using my square boxes. These also fit perfectly in the classic size boxes for the monthlies. So a lot of the kits you can actually use for monthlies, weeklies, or dailies. But I am just doing this just like so, just putting a little bit of color right down there. I am going to use my circles and color in some of that as well. I'm going to mix and match. So that one had the rainbows on it. I'm going to put the rainbows over here. Now I'm going to put the rain cloud on this one. So I'm just going back and forth, move that around like so. And what I want to do for all of these is actually I want to write in the dates and everything, and then I'm going to write over it. So here we go. This is going to seem kind of weird um, to some, but that I'm getting Jen has made it work for a various amount of planners. She definitely has. So what I'm gonna do here, it's gonna look kind of weird, but it'll look it'll look great at the end of this. So we're gonna start with Sunday. Sunday tomorrow is going to be 7:20. Monday 7:21. Tuesday 7:22. Wednesday. You see what I'm doing? Where I'm going with this? Yeah. 7:23. Thursday 7:24. Would be my luck to like write this with the wrong dates or something. Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep. I didn't want to jinx myself there. Friday, 7:25. And then Saturday again, 7:26. And this is my working planner for next week. Um, Thank you all so much for the orders over the few days. It was a little overwhelming. I really appreciate it. I did get almost everything packaged amazingly. I do have some kits that were a favorite that I do need to print a few more of, and then everybody's orders are going to be going out hopefully Monday or Tuesday. Um, as I mentioned earlier, we do have an install coming in on Monday. So if I don't get to it before then, because they are going to cut off our internet for quite some time to switch everything over, um, everybody's stuff will go out on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I have to weigh everyone's package first before I like make the shipping label before I can send it out, and I have to have everything complete before I can make a shipping label. So there we go. There's that. So all the orders placed from this past release until now. Hopefully it will go out on Monday, but if it doesn't, then we'll make it go out on Tuesday, early Tuesday morning. And there's all that cute stuff going on. I do have that extra box right in this corner. And I am going to use a fun little bright box. Let's do the rainbows. I really did these rainbows. They make me so happy. I don't know if it's just because I am a deprived child when it comes to living in the desert that we don't it's monsoon season. We should have gotten flooded a few times, but we haven't yet, which is really interesting. Um but maybe that's why I've been feeling this like rainy day situation going on here. But we do have some fun stuff coming up because Friday and Saturday is going to be another Planner Boss Collective sale. This one is a tiny one. It is only Christmas in July, but it's still something to look forward to. If I'm not mistaken, I will have a 30% off sale going on then. Possibly more, possibly less. I believe 30 is the least I would do for that. So, anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to take a blue washi strip and put this down right here, like so. I'm going to take an X-Acto blade. Okay, this is the Dollar Tree X-Acto blade. This one I had been reaching for a whole lot more lately for some reason. It's a lot thinner than the X-Acto blade, but that's gonna go right there. We're gonna say that is PVC with the Sharpie pen. Christmas in July. Right on the top. There we go. Alrighty, so Monday I have to add in here that it is going to be fiber optic. Do you see why I'm so excited about this whole fiber optic situation? It's just because we won't have issues with me doing lives on Saturday anymore after that. And oh, you know what I also forgot? Okay, so Tuesday I'm getting my Amazon delivered. We're gonna fold this over because the discs are getting a little in my way. And what I like to do, if the discs are a little big, I don't want to take them out of the paper and then put them back on and take them back off and everything. So I just find another book. I'm using the book that I was using earlier. I'm so excited. I'm tired of like when I'm streaming and then it gets pixelated or I get cut off or something. Yeah, I'm so excited. So fiber optic Tuesday, I have the delivery for the rest of the supplies I need to do the Halloween boxes. I'm so excited. So that's gonna be a delivery, and that is going to be the. Let me see, what did I order? The rest of the envelopes. Do you say envelopes or envelopes? Because like I'm hearing people saying envelopes again, but then I know it to be envelopes, and I don't know that it doesn't bother me either way. I'm just wondering, like, do we say envelopes or do we say envelopes? um, so for PBC, you can access the website through there, but you can just do it directly onto the my website through Charming Dreams website. Um, PBC will release the code the morning of the sale. Unfortunately, that's how it works. I believe it's going to be 8 o'clock at your time, 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 a.m. in the morning, Friday Eastern time, or something like that, or unless it's like Central time. I'm not too sure, but they usually release it Friday morning, and then yeah, I'm going to have the fall release in there as well. So I know it's confusing because it's Christmas in July, but we're towards the ending of July already as it is. So Christmas in July, you can still it'll be the last chance you can get the rep kits. I'm planning on keeping it up a little longer through the extension of the Planner Boss sale. So if you wanted to like get a few more of those rep kits because they're only going to be around just for Christmas in July, um, that would be the time to get them. And then they're going to go bye bye after the PBC sale is done. Um, I will also have more of the fall coming out. We're gonna have fall, and then we're gonna have like some accents for back to school, scripts for back to school as well. Like the school breaks and things like that. I realized that I didn't upload them at the beginning of the summer. Normally I pull them, so it doesn't seem too cluttered on the website. But now I'm just gonna put them on the website, and they're just gonna stay there. So we got the envelopes coming in, and I do believe I ordered something else for the box, and I can't remember what it is, but it's coming in. And then oh yeah, okay, so I have to check for ink that day too. Um, my ink is supposed to be delivered. I got a really good sale on ink at the PO box, so we're gonna check to see when it comes in because it might come in on Tuesday, it might come in on Wednesday. Um, I got really lucky with our PO box that you can ship like UPS stuff to the PO box. So it says it's going to be delivered on Tuesday, but if I'm not mistaken, it'll take a day for them to put it actually into the PO box. So it might be Wednesday. And then, yes. I'm going to have to also, Tuesday is going to be a very busy day for me. I have to check with Micah, who is my muscle therapist, to see when we're going to schedule the appointment for the rest of the week. And since we're going to be doing that, I would like to use another one of the bandage icons. Go right there with him. It's so cute because the little icons, it looks like little hearts, but that's its hands. It's like mittens and it's going like that, but it's actually its hands. So cute. I am very excited too. It's I'm hoping that everything goes perfectly as planned. So down here on my priorities for the week, it is going to be I need to get my orders done. And then after the orders, I need to get the back to school scripts up on there. And then there's one more thing that I just said I needed. What did I just say I needed? Um, I needed to also put, oh, the fall, continuing fall before PBC sale right there. So that's going to be my reminders for the beginning of this week. That should be everything that we need as of right now here. I'm going to leave this blank because I want to bring something out. Oh, Tooth Fairy, thank you. Thank you. That's very important. I keep forgetting about the Tooth Fairy. I have everything like staring at me on my computer and I need to put in Tooth Fairy. I do have a Tooth Fairy kit coming out. It's gonna be so cute. Hey, I think I think that's all that I need to write in here right now. But of course, this is gonna stay open on my desk as well, and it's going to keep me going. I do have some of my notepads here that I'm going to use here. I'm going to take a little bit of washi. Let me see what fun colored washi I have sitting right next to me. This one does not want to be sticky, but I do really want to use like some silver in there. Nope, we're going to change that up. We're going to use some floral. Since when does it matter to use floral? Who knows? But I want to put this in here as like my business reminders. Let me get some of my double stick tape to hold this down real quick. Oh, and on me searching for my double stick tape, I do come across a cuter washi, but I'm just gonna use this for now. Alrighty, here we go. Here we go. Like so. I want to tape this down. I really want to like this work stuff has to get done. It's very important to have all the work things going for next week. Uh, no, I actually enjoy Jen's company. If anybody sees what Jen is saying in the live chat right now, I do enjoy Jen's company. It's very sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's motivating, sometimes it's exactly what I need. So no, Jen does not need to worry about her bothering me and whatnot. There we go. If you want to add Jen, if you want to add a Leave Amanda Alone tab to your planner, you could. But for me, I don't mind. I really don't. There we go. That's gonna go there. I am going to reinforce my washi here. I know washi is more for, you know. Mm, hold that thought. Hold that thought. I just had a blue washi. No, it's okay. I have no clue where I put it. I did have it, but so I do have. I'm just gonna put this right here, right on top of it. Ooh, too much. Just on the edges, just to make it a little more colorful. And give it a little cut. There we go. Put it down at the bottom. Oop, can't block the disc. Cut it at the edge. Haha. And that's going to be the start of this week's orders. And this is my priorities here. When other things come up in my pipeline or things that I need to check off my list, that will be there. Oh, I do remember now what the other one was. We should be getting the pens in. Pens for, that looks like opens for Halloween. Boxes. Yay! I'm so happy that I get to share that Sharpie with all of you. I have no clue how happy I am for that. So here's the spread. And I kind of enjoy this whole like background with the dates on there rather than it being on the top. I used to do it all the time, but lately this has just been what I've been itching to do. So there we go. Got the itching to doing. These boxes are going to be filled in, and then we can do it after the pen next week if y'all want to see how that looks. We have my little thing right here of my tracker for my medical and whatnot, and I like this size for a carry-all with me. So this is probably going to be my new carry-along in my bag situation, and then I could just write down things that I need to. But it's very important that I have this page right front and center with me if I decide to go anywhere, which I'm hoping I don't have to go anywhere until I see my muscle therapist. So my muscle therapist. So there we go. There's that. There's this. And I think that's all for today. Does anybody have like anything that they need from me? Because I feel like I'm missing something. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just like hallucinating. Who knows? Um, but anyways, with all of that being said, thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Saturday. I hope to see you all next Saturday. I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Thank you so much for all of your patience while I go through this whole recovery situation and healing. And it's so important to have a great support system. And I'm so thankful that you are all here. If anybody needs me as well, I am mostly always here unless I'm like, scatterbrained or whatnot. But if anybody needs anything, any support, the VIP page is a great place to do that. Me and Jen and all of my other reps as well. Jess has been really supportive. Dolores has been amazing too. Like if you just need like a little support system when it comes to your planning journey or anything in general, just hop on in there. We're there for you. And thank you so much for being there for me too. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week or start of your upcoming week, the end of your next week. You all have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you all next week for Planner Boss Collective Sale. Thanks, everyone. Good night.